and Super Tees, this is going to be a super intense series, I feel like.
This is revenge. You know, this is revenge for all of BFA, where Cloud9 versus Oni OTK. This is their chance. It's a grudge match. It's a grudge. Sea-Doo can't stand nuts. I heard that. I'm totally not making that up.
All right, well, it's game number 1. OTK versus Cloud9. Winner of this series moves on to the grand finals. And look at these compositions.
Okay, he's a Convoke Boomkin. Oh. Hey. Okay.
Here we go. OTK, they are going to be bringing in Sam I Am, playing the Windwalker Mage Paladin, what seems to be one of the most popular and best comps right now in World of Warcraft. Cloud9 trying. I do expect that Cloud9 thought that this was going to happen, so trying to lock in what they think is a counter comp. But the best option, Trill getting a little bit low right now. Diffuse Magic does come in, and seeing Chanimal on a Moonkin, I mean, this is quite a sight to see. Let's see how he can perform, going for a Cyclone. Cubsy right now into a Polymorph. Sam I Am getting out good control. Finally a full Cyclone comes out. There's the Convoke. It's just shooting out on the best now. Sea-Doo might just get absolutely destroyed. How close was that?
I want a replay for that moment.
Yeah, we're for sure. Our clippers are definitely working on that. But Sea-Doo there, I think that was a non-full moon crit. I think he would have straight up just died right there. And Chanimal here coming out strong here on the Convoke, Boomy. And this is a comp that Sid wanted to see. This is a comp that I definitely want to see as well. Moonkin Fire Mage, the spicy chicken cleave here. We're going to see what they can do here now. Wealthy Man getting some crowd control onto Sam I Am. Chanimal getting a nice Cyclone there onto Trill, porting out of danger there. And this is not too bad for C9 actually, getting their Convoke back here. And now once again, Trill rolling in, looking for Wealthy Man as the primary target. I feel like OTK so far, they haven't really had any great offense. They've gotten a Chance Trinket, they've got a Wealthy Man's Trinket. Wealthy Man has that combustion. Sam's going to have his combustion very, very shortly here. And I do believe that next setup is going to be going out onto Wealthy Man here, maybe a Klepto with that big combustion, with that paralyzed or something onto Cubsy. Let's see OTK, who's going to pull the trigger first? Trill, Hammer of Justice. Chanimal looking to load up some crowd control, goes to the Cyclone, gets it onto Sea-Doo. Trill might be in a little bit of danger here. Gonna trigger that Save by the Light, and now once again OTK are gonna take that and just run with it.
Yeah, Cloud9 just waiting for that Incarn, waiting for the Convoke. That is basically the win condition for Cloud9. So big crit full moon on the Convoke. If they can get it, they're probably going to win this. If they can't, I don't know. I think Trill's going to be laying down a lot of damage here. Stunning up Wealthy Man. Combustion from Sam. Big hit. Chan intercepts Sam with a disorienting Cyclone. And it looks like that will be more than enough to stop the assault there towards Wealthy Man. And this is still very similar to that Destro Mage comp that we saw in Battle for Azeroth. The Boomkin kind of taking the place of the Destruction Warlock. Cubsy in a Polymorph, Trill in a Polymorph, not able to connect any damage. Both mages just shutting down each other's teams at this point. Followed up by a Cyclone. Root Beam by Chan. Where's the Tiger's Lust? Doesn't look like it's off cooldown. Sea-Doo now into a Cyclone, but no damage. This is the problem with Moonkin Mage, is kind of just getting to your target if it retreats away before you locked it down. So Trill with some good evasive maneuvers there to prevent the attack, but that threat of Convoke is still a ticking time bomb.
It certainly is. What is the cooldown on
2 minutes.
Convoke? Okay, 2 minutes. So it is available here for Chanimal. 3 minutes into the game, and the thing is, Moonkin Mage is incredibly durable. That's the great thing about this composition is, although you're kind of like a one-hit wonder with your Convoke and with your Combustion, you take a really long time to get taken down. Trill is going to really struggle in this game. When he goes after Chanimal, he's going to get caught into spam Polymorphs. When he goes after Wealthy Man, he's going to get spam Cyclones. So they need beautiful cross-crowd control if Trill is to be effective in this matchup. Big Meteor go here. Immediate Kleptomania cancel by Wealthy Man on Sam I Am's Combust. And Chanimal looks like he will be able to survive and has all of his damage cooldowns ready and available. OTK has to be ready to have a solid defense.
Yeah, and that was a nice push there. And now it's Cubsy here on the back foot. Nice counterspell onto Chanimal. Cubsy not going to be taking any risks there. Immediately using his Gladiator's Medallion now. Nice cross CC
Convoke!
here.
Convoke!
Solar Beam. The Convoke is here. He gets a full moon, but he does have... Oh my goodness, he do! Oh my God, 100% He's dead!
He died! He's dead! He got
I'm going Night Fae after this.
Yeah, I think you should. I mean, you're just talking up Night Fae all the time and Convoke, and here you are, Kyrian Moonkin.
No tournament player at a high rating would play Night Fae Boomkin. You need to play Kyrian. Only play Kyrian at high rating. Why would you troll? Why would you say play Night Fae Boomkin? Don't good Boomkin plays Night Fae.
Come on, man. You don't got to make fun of me like that.
That's what everybody says. That's what everybody says.
I know. But seriously, look at this replay, okay? Watch this. Janimal, they defuse the situation. Cloud9, they stay alive, get the crowd control out on Trill. And I just want you to watch Sea-Doo right now, okay? Because he uses Sacrifice on Trill, and he's just out of line of sight and just dies. Watch this, okay? Janimal getting ready. Here we go. He's going for the Cyclone. He gets paralyzed. He gets counterspelled. Oh, no counterspell? Well, thank you very much. Here comes Convoke. So he gets the Cyclone. He goes for the channel. Root Beam on Sea-Doo. Convoke comes out. Sea-Doo forced to use the Sacrifice. Some of the damages. Oh, he actually does get out of line of sight, but ends up rotting down to the Sacrifice. Little bit greedy there by Sea-Doo. I mean, he could have used the Divine Shield, but Cloud9 with crazy burst. And this is such an interesting answer from them in game number 1.
I think the best part about this whole replay is that Trill activates the diffuse magic as soon as he realizes what's happening. He gets full mooned into the diffuse magic, and it still does like 30% or 40% of his HP, which is enough to transfer it to Sea-Doo and destroy him afterwards. It is truly a sight to see these Night Fae brothers repping the Winter Queen here in the upper finals.
It certainly is, Zico. Yeah, cheers to that. I forgot the word for that for a second, but yeah, well done to them in that first game. But the question is, Super Tees, I'm going to ask you this one since you are such a stand for those Night Fae Boomkins. Is that something that they are going to be able to repeat in game number 2 here? Is that something reliably that they'll be able to repeat?
I mean, he did line it. So I mean, it's possible. Sea-Doo obviously he could have bubbled, but bubble's not a 2-minute cooldown, so it's not going to line up too effectively with Convoke. I was still surprised that it actually killed Sea-Doo because they were intending to kill Trill, and with the Solar Beam on the healer, and then the Solar Beam ended, and the remainder Star Surges, because it generates Astral Power too while you're channeling the Convoke. It just gives you this crazy burst window, and it's an insane amount of damage. I think it was Wealthy Man's Combust too. So if those line up together, like you basically throw everything but the kitchen sink at them to stay alive. But if you do that more than once, you might not be able to do that more than once. So I don't blame them for trying to be greedy.
All right, looks like we're going to be going to Hook Point, smaller map. OTK has chosen Cloud9. Would it even be wise of them at this point, Zico, to lock in that same composition then? How would it do? I mean, we did see Morrow play Boomkin on Hook Point here. They didn't lose that game, or they didn't win that game, but I mean, they did look pretty good. How do you think that OTK will do on this if they decide, or Cloud9 if they decide to play that Boomkin once again?
I think Cloud9 blind locks Windwalker Mage here. I think that's the move. And they go for the Convoke maybe on a larger map when they know what they're up against. I feel like if they blind lock the Moonkin here, I mean, there's still a chance that, the Winter Queen takes the steering wheel, decides to get, some big full moon crits and take somebody down. But I feel like Trill, he's going to play Windwalker. Mez might come in on his Warrior, and then they might just sit on that Moonkin. And it's going to be a little bit more of what we've already seen. Okay, no, I like it. I mean, I like it, but I don't know if it's gonna work.
That's my wrong buzzer noise. I don't know if that was a good impression or not. Okay, well, let's talk about this one then. We've got Chan back on that Boomkin. Do you think he's still gonna be running Convoke here?
Yeah.
Yes. For sure. I mean, it just gives you a win condition out of thin air, right? Like, Sam-I-Am, when Convoke's available, Sam-I-Am has to really make a decision. Am I going to use Counterspell on Clone? Am I going to use Counterspell on Polymorph? Okay, well, if I do, Convoke's coming my way. So it is a difficult spot for Sam-I-Am to be in, and I just think that extra threat, especially, I mean, Cloud9, like I was kind of talking about in the Grand Arena, Moonkin and Fire Mage are incredibly durable right now, and they back each other up very nicely. So you can stall the game for a long time. You basically one-shot, stall, one-shot, stall, one-shot, stall. And you can do that for a really long period of time. Maybe with this composition, it'll be a bit different. OTK, they're saying, you know what? Here it is. Windwalker Death Knight, bring in the Restoration Shaman as well. The Grounding Totem probably going to pay dividends for Sea-Doo to survive that Convoke. What are your thoughts on this, Super-Tees?
I don't feel like I really like it. I mean, it's a good map. I guess the map could make it work more than anything. But if I was Boomkin Mage in the ladder and I queued into this, I feel like I'd be if I was a Convoke Boomkin, I'd be pretty happy about it because it's so hard to stop everything. And this is Ore Mastery Bop territory, potentially for Chanimal with Cubsy on Paladin. I would like to see the combo. Maybe they can go for the Exodia combo.
Yeah, I would like to see it as well. We've got both compositions locked in here. We are going to be going to Hook Point Cloud9, having an explosive game number 1 here. Certainly not a good way to start off on the right foot for OTK, but they're going to be locking in, as we can see here, that Frost Mage Windwalker here. A pretty classic composition, I feel like, as well for OTK, so I feel like they're going to be looking pretty comfortable too, Zico.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is their bread and butter. This is basically this is what they love to play. You know, this is what they always play. Whenever it's meta, they always play Windwalker DK, and they always do super, super well with it. So definitely going to be a tough match here for C9. But with that said, you never know. With the Winter Queen in play, anything can really happen here. And Cloud9 right now, after that first game, they're going to be feeling really good because they have that, double advantage. Even if they lose here, we can go to the beautiful sands of Tolvir, and you can definitely bury someone there with a big Convoke or a Mastery combo. So we're going to have to see what they end up doing here, but we are going live here with game number 2, C9 Spicy Chicken Cleave versus OTK, Windwalker DK Shaman.
Yeah, Cloud9 are looking finger-licking good in game 1 there with that Convoke the Spirits victory. Let's see what they can get. Let's see if they can dunk them again into the sweet and sour sauce of the Convoke the Spirits. Oh, Sea-Doo getting solo. Are they going to go after Sea-Doo? Trill stunned behind the pillar.
Oh!
Wow!
Are you kidding me? Lots of streaming
There's the
and lots of
Convoke
noise.
just
That
lining
wasn't
it. Oh, he
even the
kicked it. Look,
Convoke.
he countered it. He kicked it. They're
Oh my
good.
goodness gracious. That's one of those cases where it's meteor in the air and like you just don't care. I mean, he did drop the AMD, but the meteor ended up hitting him. The meteor hit him anyways. We're going to see it. I mean, what? Cloud9, they have to feel so good about this. That is the most tilting thing that can happen to OTK. And I mean, well, that was, how long was that game? That was under a minute.
It was like 24 seconds, but if they play a replay, I really want to hear the comms on that from you guys because the simultaneous screaming was killing me, but here it is right now.
Let's take a look right now what happens, okay? Wealthy Man and Cubsy are trying to move into position. They get the Root Beam on Sea-Doo, and then they're ready to go. So Cubsy, about to use his Divine Steed, pushes in, gets the Hammer of Justice, and Mez is just a little bit too late on the Anti-Magic Zone. And I'm pretty sure that was all Wealthy Man. Wealthy Man just sold him with Combustion. 100-0 in 1 second.
Goodness.
So
what a lethal composition here. And I just want to remind you guys, this is Cloud9 that we're seeing do this here. This is the kings of dampening, and now they are. This series hasn't even been like 10 minutes yet. Both of those games were shut down so quickly, and this may be a 3-0 against OTK. They're just not holding it together for very long here. So I gotta wonder what they are thinking right now, what they want to do for game number 3, if they want to try and turn this around in their favor, Zico.
Well, in that instance, you probably want to just insta-trigger Diffuse Magic. With that said, though, I mean, Mez, he was pretty quick on the anti-magic zone, I want to say. And the Meteor, what do you guys think that Meteor was? Like 12,000, 13,000?
20,000?
I don't know about that. Much. It wasn't 20,000, but it was definitely a fat hit, like 40-50% of Trill's HP right there. And it looks good. So that was the spicy of the spicy chicken. So we saw the chicken, and now we saw the spice, and yeah, that looks good.
It wasn't so nice for Trill. No?
that was good.
You didn't
That was,
get
that was
that?
a pretty good one. I'll give you.
I didn't
I
get
got it.
it.
I got it. I'll give you props for that one. You guys puns are on point right now. But Cloud9 up 2-0 here, very close to getting another win on OTK, shutting it down before dampening. Not something that we're used to seeing Cloud9 doing, but they're pulling it off so beautifully. And I just want to see what OTK decides to do here going into game number 3. Do you feel like if they were able to survive this opening from that Cloud9 is doing against OTK, then that they're pretty like safe from there, and they're not going to get any like 1 to 100 to 0 deaths, or is it just kind of going to be like that throughout the game? Those just super bursty moments.
Well, it's definitely going to be like that throughout the game. It's just the nature of Moonkin and Fire Mage, right? Like, they're just incredibly bursty. And the thing is, with the Root Beam, you have a lot of instant crowd control as well. So basically, Trill has a great option for Root Beam, which is Tiger's Lust. But if he gets caught in Dragon's Breath, Hammer of Justice, there's no Tiger's Lust. And then Sea-Doo just eats that instant crowd control from Chanimal, and they can get off those big one-shot combos. So, I mean, this is basically the worst situation you can be in as OTK. You're down 0-2, you just tried something new, and you lost in 1 millisecond. So they could still be thinking, you know what, this is... I feel like they've been in the situation so much where, like, they come in, it looks like they have a solid counter, and then everything goes wrong, and they just lose instantly. But OTK, I feel like they could lock in the same comp and try to get another smaller map, but Cloud9, with the nature of the composition they're running, it's just... Like I said, it's just all about you get the one shot with your instant crowd control, and then you live. You just stall, live, crowd control, polymorph, Dragon's Breath, Cyclone, do everything you can to survive until you can one shot again. And it's really hard because if OTK, they mess up even a little bit, they're just going to die instantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no room for mistakes here from either side. Both of these teams have been in that top spot for so long. We are going to be going to DALARAN Sewers Cloud9. Not much of a surprise, locking in that Boomkin Fire Mage once again, and OTK running out of time to choose what they want to do to try and counter this composition. How do we feel about this map choice, Suptees?
I mean, they need small maps. Boomkin Mage is going to be just Wizard Overlord on anything else, so it's a good map for them overall. However, it seems like Cloud9 are getting more comfortable with getting aggressive, and you see what happens if they get crowd control coordinated. It's just practically nothing they could do. Like, maybe Mez could have trinketed instantly, or AMZ literally is his first global on Trill. Like, he's just pre-planning it, has his cursor where Trill's body is, and just presses it. But then what if Wealthy Man doesn't combust, right? It's like... You only have like a global to make a choice, and if you make the wrong one, you die. If you use it and they don't commit, you're gonna die later. If you use it and they do commit, you might live, but you have to use it literally within that global.
So the way I see it is Trail for sure, Trinket, and Diffuse Magic there. But with that said, I mean, sure, you live that one setup, right?
Exactly.
It's gonna keep happening, and the problem is you can't kill anybody on the opposite team until you get 30-40% dampening. So how many combusts can you get in between there? At some point, somebody is going to slip up, even if it's not on the first combust. Sure, maybe you answer that one, but 5, 6, 10 minutes into the game, somebody is getting global, and I think that's the real issue here. So for OTK, they don't even get to see kind of how the matchup plays out, how there goes, how much they force. They just immediately get erased, and they want to swap it up here for the Windwalker Mage now.
So I know that OTK wouldn't be able to mirror here, but what would a mirror look like against this Boomkin Fire Mage composition? I'm just curious how you think that would go.
I don't know.
Nervous laughter.
People often ask what happens when the unstoppable force hits the immovable object, but what happens when the unstoppable force hits the unstoppable force? I mean, that's kind of what it would be. Just everybody one-shotting each other the whole game. Probably a lot of Paladin goes if you were to play a Moonkin Fire Mage mirror. Just get crowd control on the Mage, Hammer of Justice the Paladin, and try to one-shot him. But that's something we'll have to find out at a later day. Right now, we are going to DALARAN Sewers. OTK, they got one more chance. And here's the thing. I mean, if you were OTK or you're Cloud9, neither one of you wants to go down to the lower bracket and play Kawhi. Like, that's just not something you want to do. This is an unbelievable team with insane compositions in that lower bracket. And guess what? Kawhi has. Imagine OTK loses this. Guess what Kawhi's going to play into them? They have Previ. They have Cerulean. I mean, they're going to be playing Moonkin Mage as well. So OTK, they have to figure it out here, or they're in for a lot of trouble in that lower bracket.
All right, I'm excited to see what we're gonna see here in the opener. Wealthy Man is an Invis, Sam I Am is an Invis. Now here's a kicker for you guys. If Sea-Doo and Trill stack up, they get double root solar beamed. If they split up, they meet your one taps Trill. What do? It's definitely an interesting situation here. Cham is gonna go for the Cyclone out of stealth here onto Trill, so they're not gonna opt for like a big CC opener here. Instead, they're gonna just choose to drag Trill back here, dragging him into that dangerous territory, giving Sea-Doo an opportunity here to push forward. Cubsy immediately going for that big heal, and there we go. Here we go, big damage on the Trill. This time around, Trinket, Diffuse, Karma, everything, and that is going to keep him alive for that combustion. But now there is Convoke on the table, Sid.
They just paralyzed him. Oh no, they just paralyzed him. I feel like it's coming. It's gonna happen any second now. Channel got counter spell
too.
Oh no! Wealthy Man in cauterize though has to ice block. Is Wealthy Man just gonna die? Oh my goodness! Trill turns it around, putting his team back in the game. But Incarn is up. Where's the Convoke? Trill on the run. Did Channel commit it? I don't feel like he did. But his Incarn is up. He wants to combo those together. Sea-Doo, Trill, and Sam I Am are just, no way. No. Incarn's up. Run away. Chanimal, you smell bad right now. Get away. We don't want to be anywhere near you during that cooldown. And they're going to avoid it. But I'm just waiting. I feel like Chan hasn't convoked yet. He's in stealth. He's sneaking up on Sea-Doo, looking for a Cyclone, maybe baiting some more interrupts. He gets paralyzed again. Trill going to set up on Chan here for a moment. Is he going to be able to get into bear form in time? Doesn't even need to. Sam I Am catches Cubsy. Dragon's Breath Polymorph, but Trill gets cloned. It's just damage from Sam here. I don't think Sam is going to solo force anything on Chanimal. Trill getting cloned over and over. Regrowth's coming in. Sea-Doo now in a poly. Trill on the run. Chanimal not chasing him. Chanimal coming back towards Sam. Sam is very split up from his team right now. All by himself while Trill and Sea-Doo are together. This could be scary. Sea-Doo getting swapped to for a moment. And again, it's just a threat in Chanimal's back pocket, sitting on that Convoke. Root Beam. Looks like there's no lust. The Sea-Doo gets lusted out of the Root Beam. Now, big damage coming up from Trill and Wealthy Man. No ice block. They made a mistake. Overlapping sacrifice. This is OTK's chance to get a kill on the Wealthy Man. Wealthy Man denies it with Triune Barrier, Frost Nova, outranging Trill with Cyclone. And this is the Chanimal Wealthy Man you know from all their history. Cyclone one, Poly the other, switch it over. Nobody's going to be connecting to Wealthy Man when Cloud9 are on point.
Yeah, the nice thing about Wealthy Man playing Night Fae and that shifting power is he gets to lower the cooldown on his ice block as well. So if he consistently gets those off, get a lot of time off. Trill now in a little bit of trouble. Polymorph on Cubsy at the same time. Wealthy Man definitely needs to be a little bit careful. Trill trades out the Touch of Karma, and he's just going for it. Cubsy's still in crowd control. Wealthy Man on the run, just trying to avoid Trill at all costs. Potential Dragon's Breath here. He's going to use the Night Fae Blink in order to get away. Cyclone comes in from Chanimal, and that's going to be slowing down the game quite a bit. Big burst damage available for Chanimal and Wealthy Man relatively soon. And keep in mind, Trill with no Touch of Karma can be vulnerable. And a big meteor comes in. Wealthy Man getting dangerously low. Cubsy forced to respond with that sacrifice, and that will keep Wealthy Man alive. Wealthy Man still just, a little under 2 minutes left on getting another ice block. Cloud9 needs to hold on a little bit longer.
Yeah, and that was the trinket sacrifice there. So slowly but surely, OTK are kind of getting some cooldowns here. Wealthy Man still in a little bit of trouble there. Trill with the 16 fists right now, doing a lot of damage there onto Wealthy Man, bursting through the Triune Barrier. But look at Chanimal, crowd controlling Trill. Now we're going to swap it over to Sam I Am here potentially with that next Cyclone. And now looking to potentially set something up here with the Root Solar Beam maybe. Sea-Doo very aware of that win condition. He's going to go ahead and just line of sight. And there we go. Chanimal with the Root Solar Beam. Trill immediately ports back to safety here. Where is the Convoke? They're waiting for it. And there it is. DR Ring of Frost. Here we go. Chanimal. Sam I Am getting blasted there. Kleptos. The combustion of Wealthy Man cancels it. And that means he's going to be surviving that setup. And now Sam I Am actually looking for his own setup here. He gets a polymorph onto Cubsy, gets Dragon's Breath, Wealthy Man shutting Sam down. Chanimal now as well with the Cyclones there onto Sam I Am. And that means that C9 are going to stabilize from that situation. Sam I Am had to use his trinket with that setup. So right now both mages kind of exposed. Wealthy Man though has his ice block coming up very, very shortly here, Sid.
Hardest hitting attacks are available for OTK and Chanimal. Both sides are a big threat right now. Wealthy Man stunned up. Pre-alter times. Trinkets out anyways. Doesn't want to get locked down here too badly by the Zwen. Healing himself back up thanks to his healer Cubsy, who used Divine Shield. Chanimal is setting up, though. He's trying to bait interrupts with Cyclone so he can go for it. He Cyclones the Mage. Where's the Convoke going to go? Incarn's up. Wealthy Man's in trouble. He needs backup. They Cyclone Trill. They Poly Sam. Pause the fight. Blinding Light on Cubsy, though. Still in crowd control. Sea-Doo now in a Cyclone. Trill at low health on the run. Trying to line of sight the Boomkin. Root Beam on the whole team. Hammer of Justice laid down. Chanimal popping some Star Surges on Trill. Gets the Karma pulled from him. Sea-Doo still controlled. Looking for Cyclones. Not finding it. Now maybe Cycloning Trill. Gets paralyzed. Paralyzed out of the way. Counterspell still up for Sam. Dragon's Breath too. I feel like Chanimal's getting baited into Convoke. Sam's saving Dragon's Breath for him, so he needs to wait. Disorienting Roar, Cyclone attempt. Chanimal tries to fake the interrupt. He's not getting the counterspell. Cyclone, but on diminishing return. Bit of a mistake there. Now Sam should be able to stop the Convoke. Sea-Doo is in a poly. They need to get ready for it. Chanimal triggering his Eclipse, activating that Fury of Elune. Gets Dragon's Breath, but before the Convoke, Chanimal has an opening here. If he's able to find it. Sea-Doo's Avenging Wrath is up. His team's looking okay unless he's crowd controlled. Sea-Doo charges in, looking for a hammer. Are they going to swap to Cubsy? He has no Divine Shield. They could. Looks like they're committed to Wealthy Man. Meteor connects. Chanimal's healing Wealthy Man with Regrowth. Trill gets Cycloned. Good shutdown by Chanimal. Chanimal on top of Sea-Doo. Cyclone Sam. Convoke the Spirits on Sea-Doo. Sea-Doo's in so much trouble. Huge damage. He wraps around the corner. And Divine Shields. Chanimal saw the opportunity and almost took it completely on his own, but Sea-Doo was ready this time.
Yeah, Sea-Doo tried to line of sight. Unfortunately, still had to use that Divine Shield. And he's got no Trinket as well, so not many cooldowns going to be available here for the side of Sea-Doo. Trill could be vulnerable as well. Wealthy Man, it wasn't his combustion. It's about a minute away, and if he can get off some fireballs, he's going to lower that cooldown. So Chanimal and Wealthy Man just trying to load up on their damage once again. Cubsy sitting down for a drink, and this is kind of reminiscent of their Destro Warlock Frost Mage. Just a lot of control, slowing down the game. Cubsy goes for lots of drinks, and eventually they find their crowd control, they find their burst. Big damage on Trill. He gets a preemptive Karma. Are they going to just push through it? This isn't even combustion from Wealthy Man, and Trill is just getting absolutely shredded. Now Wealthy Man, when he has combustion, Trill's going to have to be so scared. Siege's going to have no crowd control break, and Trill's going to have no diffuse or Karma. This is a nightmare for OTK.
Yeah, this is basically a checkmate situation here. They could take down Trill. Oh, Cubsy, though, takes a lot of damage here. Trinkets out. There's going to be enough. Doesn't have his Divine Shield. He gets stunned there. Ring of Peace on his Divine Favor. Cubsy's taking so much damage here from the fists. He activates that Curion Potion, Blessing of Protection, and that is going to be enough there. Now, Trill, he has pretty much nothing except that Trinket. Maybe a port as well with that Trinket. Here we go. There's the
Trill!
Oh, he's dead. That's it. He gets Hammer of Justice behind the pillar on top of his port. Good night, Trill. That's going to be the combust. That's going to be 3-0 for C9. And that is largely because of that setup that Enrique was talking about before that, where they get the Hammer of Justice, they bump off the Karma, they force out the cooldowns from Trill, then the combustion finally comes around, and that is just going to be KO.
Rich Campbell on Twitter tweeting at Warcraft saying nerf Boomkins, and I can't imagine why here. Cloud9 3-0ing OTK.